Good evening and welcome to the Bird's Eye View here from the WAUG studio. I'm your host, Demarcus Williams, and I serve as the Associate Vice President of Global Marketing and Communications. The purpose of the Bird's Eye View is to provide a full scope of all the things that are happening on the campus of St. Augustine's University. Before we begin, I want to take a moment just to thank the Durham Alumni Chapter of St. Augustine's University for their generous $1,000 donation to the reopening of our brand new television studio. We have an ambitious goal to raise $300,000 by the end of this month. And with your help, we believe that we can do that. You can look at the link in the comments very shortly for more information on how you can support that initiative. Now, this time, I am so happy to introduce to you our guest for tonight, our Interim Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Janelle Jennings-Alexander. Dr. Janelle Jennings-Alexander, or as we call you affectionately, JJA, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. Thanks so much for having me.
Good. Well, we're going to jump right into it. Now, Dr. Jennings-Alexander, you have had an interesting journey since coming to St. Augustine's University. You started as a member of our faculty. You rose through the ranks to become an associate vice president. Now you're the interim provost. How have you been able to navigate through all the things that we're facing, and in doing so, earn the trust of our faculty during this time?
Sure. So I joined the faculty at St. Augustine's University in January of 2022. And in my first week here, there was a Faculty Staff Professional Development Institute, and someone had a presentation updating us on the status of our SAC-COC accreditation. And one of the things that I pride myself on doing is being a helper. I'm a Girl Scout. and so when I heard that, I said, I've got experience in SACs, and this is one way that I have the ability to sort of dive in and become a part of this institution. So I reached out to those individuals and asked how I can help, and is there something that I can assist with, and the rest is history. So we worked really diligently on that first SACS report that was due September of 2022. I was asked that summer to step into the interim associate provost role, associate vice president for academic affairs. And even though my background is in English, so I teach writing and literature, my career has sort of spanned different offices within the academy. So I've worked in honors program, institutional effectiveness, general education, advising, and all of those experiences really came together to help inform the work that I did in that associate provost position. So I hope that I've earned the trust and the respect of our faculty. I think one of the ways I strive to do that is to recognize that titles don't mean much. It's the work that you do and that you put in. And so I try every day to put in the work and to show people that I'm here, that I'm committed, and that really leadership and administration is service, and that my goal is to serve my community, to serve my faculty, to serve the students, to serve the staff, and I try my best to do that every day.
Excellent. So a few weeks ago, we had our honors convocation. You made some opening remarks, and you made some powerful statements, much of which we talked about the many stories right now that are currently being told about SAU. Now, given the number of headlines that are currently out there about the university, what stories should be told about SAU right now?
Yeah, I find it interesting as somebody who really is sort of a newbie on campus. I have some colleagues who have been here 20, 25 years. As someone who's only been here 2.5 years, you know, I'm a relative new kid on the block. I know what the story of SAU looks like on the outside. And now in these last couple of years, I know what it looks like on the inside. And from the outside, you're sort of limited to these discussions that exist in the media news reports, and a lot of them are not favorable, and especially within the last couple of months. It's been challenging to see stories of the real SAU, that sort of insider view. And having been here and been in this space now for 2.5 years, I have a much different perspective on this institution. I have a really strong commitment to HBCUs. I'm a 4th generation HBCU grad. My daughter last summer was our 5th generation in our family. And so I know the work that HBCUs do, and I see that work here at SAU. The stories are not ones of struggle and loss and sadness, which is kind of the media take that we're getting right now. Really, it's one of success and opportunity and connections. And that's the piece that I really wish we were able to show more of. And so I know that there were some folks who were sort of surprised by the number of scholars that we had at our honors convocation. Those of us on the inside were not really surprised because we work with these students every day. We have brilliant, brilliant young people on our campus who are on our campus doing great things, who go out in the world to do great things. And theirs is the story that we need to be telling. We need to be talking about the work of our faculty and our staff to help prepare them, to protect them, to help ensure that they are excelling not just in their classes, but as human beings in the world. And that's the work that we do. And that's the story that doesn't always get shared. And so, yeah, I mean, I think about stories a lot as somebody whose background is in English and in literature. Stories matter, but it also matters who's telling the story. The perspective of the story matters. What our sometimes unreliable narrators tell in a story, and what's the message? What's our theme, our takeaway? And I would love for us to have an opportunity to have more chances to tell our own story and tell those stories of success and triumph that really, really exist on our campus.
Amen to that. And speaking of the work, we are currently in remote learning. Mm-hmm. There's no secret to that. Mm-hmm. And while we're in this current space, could you describe some of the resources that are currently available to our students and how that has been working for them, mm-hmm. and what is being put in place to ensure that they finish strong this semester?
Yeah, absolutely. So those of us who taught during COVID in 2020 had an opportunity to get real good at online learning really quickly. And since then, I think we sort of developed this skill set of really thinking about how you deliver courses online, and not just kind of lecturing in a Zoom call or in a Teams space, but really how you effectively deliver content in a remote learning space. And I think in the same way that our faculty have become really nimble in that way, I think our students have as well. And so the shift to online learning for us was maybe not as painful as some people imagine. We have a lot of students who actually preferred, I think in the session last week with the students who presented on this broadcast, they talked about, some of them talked about how online learning for them was working out okay, right? So it's not a struggle for everybody. In terms of resources, our faculty are great resources because they're thinking about what engaged learning looks like in those spaces. We do a lot of work of sort of informally advising. If we have students who are not showing up to class, reaching out, making phone calls or sending text messages or nudging via email to say, hey, we missed you in class today. We need you to come on back, right? And so in a lot of ways, within the classroom, we're creating structures of support. But we also have a writing center online. Within our departments, we've got tutoring that's happening. Our library is still open in person and remotely, assisting with research. So all of the same services that were available on campus in person are also available online. And so we do our best to continue to help support students virtually in the same way that we did in person.
Now, I want to revisit what we talked about earlier about some of these stories of triumph during honors convocation. I mean, we heard Dr. Burgess talk about 50% of our students making honor roll. We heard stories about students, landing jobs, internships, graduate school acceptances, and the like. From your vantage point in academic affairs, you work with the faculty, the students, you see the performances of them. How would you describe the resilience of our students during this period of time?
Yeah. Our students have been through a lot this semester. And I think that what we see in them navigating this moment is an opportunity for them to recognize that when they leave our campus, that there are going to be challenges there as well, right? And being able to meet those challenges and persevere through them is a skill set not everybody has. And certainly it's not our intention for them to struggle and have our campus be the space where that happens, but to know that because of some of those challenges, they're going out into the world stronger and better prepared to face some of the bumps in the road that inevitably they will face. So I'm inspired by our students, the fact that they're sticking it out, the fact that they continue to advocate for themselves, the fact that they work hard to continue to excel academically and think about what happens after this semester, the way that they are looking for internships and working on applications for graduate school and finding careers beyond their college experience. They're doing all the things that they should be doing despite all of these challenges. And I think that says a lot about their character, who they are, and I think how in some ways, unexpectedly, what we're facing has helped to sharpen their resolve and better prepare them for the future.
Now, just want to take a full circle moment. You talked about earlier how your career in higher education kind of began with SAC-COC. And now we're in the middle of some challenges related to our accreditation status with SAC-COC.
Right.
Given how closely you're currently working with this, can you give us an update in terms of where are we, how are we doing in the current process as it relates to our accreditation?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the first things that I will say is that St. Augustine's University remains an accredited institution. Anybody who's not sure about that should log on to SAC-COC's website, look at member institutions, type in SAU, and they'll see us there. Now, we are under sanction, so we're listed as an institution on probation for good cause, which means that we're still in this process of fighting to get back to a full accreditation, of fully clean and clear accreditation status. That's been a challenge. We know in December there was a vote to remove SAU from membership, and I think that's kind of one of the places where this narrative that we lost our accreditation came from. And then in February, we pushed back against that decision and appealed it. There was a vote from that committee to uphold the decision in December, which definitely was a blow to us, but we're still in that fight. And so right now what we have looking forward is a continuation of this fight to maintain our accreditation with SAC-COC. So we moved to arbitration. Our arbitration committee has been formed, and so we're awaiting information on our dates for when those hearings will be held and what next steps are for us. We don't have those specific dates yet, but we know that we anticipate them within the next couple of weeks. Then from there, because we want to make sure we have a plan B, if we're not able to resolve this conflict through the arbitration process, we do plan to use the courts to help make the case that we had the ability to be continued on accreditation, that while we recognize and respect the job that SAC-COC has to do in making these really tough decisions that we wholeheartedly disagree with the decision that was made. So we move forward with that piece. And at the same time, we look to see if for some reason, both in arbitration and in litigation, there's a failure in our efforts to move forward. We look at a dual or alternate accreditation journey. So you may have seen either on our website or heard people talk about TRACS. TRACS does accreditation for Christian affiliated institutions. We align really closely with the mission of TRACS, and so we're looking at membership there. We had a really productive meeting with the team at TRACS in February. We have already been granted access to their portal. We've already started building our report. And thankfully, because we've recently done this work, we've got a big chunk of it already done. And we anticipate being able to move pretty seamlessly into candidacy status should we need to with TRACS, and we anticipate that by April 2025 we'll be in that space if our efforts through SAC-COC are not successful.
Yeah. Well, that is very positive amidst all of the other things that are going on. Now, Dr. Jennings-Alexander, we have some viewers that might have just came on as you were explaining all that. And so just in layman's terms, for those who just came on, can we just reiterate the fact that, are we still open?
It's so interesting to me that people think that we're not open. I think maybe because there was a shift online and there are fewer cars physically on campus, that maybe when you drive by, perhaps it looks like that the campus is not running, but I assure you, I'm at work every day and you're welcome to come by my office. Our faculty are teaching classes. Some of them are on campus. We have a faculty member who gets here at 7:30 in the morning, who leaves at 6 o'clock every night, every day, 7 days a week. We have faculty and staff who are here. I want to just give a huge shout out to our student experience team who are helping to create magic for our students who are still on campus. And we have about 150 of them who are still here for lots of different reasons. And so they're making sure that they still have a great in-person experience. Our team that's working on commencement is helping to build great opportunities for our students who are graduating. Our seniors right now are in final exams. They finish their final exams at the end of this week, and next week those grades are posted. And then we start building their final exam or put their final grades in. And then we start looking to their activities that get them on their path to graduation. So there's a lot of movement happening on campus. We are very busy, and there's a lot of work that's happening. And we are absolutely open for business. We'll be open in the summer. We'll be open in the fall. We look forward to have people come on campus and join us, and feel free to bring a check with you.
Yes, and while we're on that note, if you are watching right now, we would like to encourage all of you to support the Falcon Pride Initiative. You can take $1 or more, visit our website, st-aug.edu/Falcon Pride Initiative, and make a donation. You can donate $1 or more, or as our new campaign will start saying, $1 will do. And so when you give to the Falcon Pride Initiative, you help us preserve our accreditation as well as stabilize our finances. Now, Dr. Jennings-Alexander, despite all our challenges, you just talked about faculty and our staff. They are working tirelessly to ensure that our students get across the finish line to graduation. With that being said, in their efforts to ensure that all of our students continue to get college credits, that they graduate and cross the stage with an accredited degree, how is it going to feel for you personally to see our students cross the commencement stage?
Yeah. So I'm a softie. I tear up every commencement, in part because it's a celebratory space. It's a long journey that our students have had. Because of the institution that we are, we have a lot of students who are the first in their family, the first generation of college graduates. And it's an opportunity to see the immense pride of their family and their friends, their classmates, to see them walk across the stage. And as a faculty member, as an administrator, I share in that pride. Our core business is producing graduates. Yes. That is the thing that we do. And so when we have these commencement exercises and we see the students walk across the stage, what we're also seeing is the great work that has happened on our campus to help facilitate that. And so it brings me pride in our faculty who have made possible those students who maybe needed a little or a lot of a nudge to get through, and also those high flyers who were going to succeed no matter what, but chose this institution. Yes. Right? So it's just a moment where we get to celebrate each other. We celebrate the success of our students. We celebrate the success of the good work that we have done in serving our students and helping create pathways for success for them as they move forward in the world.
How many students are we anticipating graduating?
Yeah, I just left a meeting. So just so everybody sort of knows, when we have a commencement exercise, we are celebrating students who completed programs in the previous summer, the previous fall, and the current spring. So this spring, we're looking at graduates from summer 2023, fall 2023, and spring 2024. In spring 2023, we had 107 graduates. In spring 2024, we have 149 students who will be walking across the stage.
Wow.
And that's right now. We have a couple sometimes. We get to finals and things, have some hiccups. And that number tends to dip a little bit, but this will be one of the largest graduating classes in the last decade.
Wow.
And it's a testament to the hard work that we are doing to help retain students, to help support them, to help ensure their success. And so we're really excited. The accreditation piece hurt us because we had this upward trajectory of being able to continue to grow our graduation class and improve our graduation rates. So we're going to have a bump come next year, but right now we celebrate the really, really great work that everyone has done and this really amazing increase in our number of graduates. It's exciting.
Wow. Now, with that being said, have we confirmed a speaker?
We have. So we have really just the esteemed privilege of having an SAU graduate, a current faculty member, and really esteemed clergyman, Pastor Reverend Charles Brooks, serve as our commencement speaker. He's very excited. We're very excited to have him, and I think he hits all the right notes for what we need in this moment. We need some spiritual affirmation, and we need someone who understands this journey intimately, and I think he reflects all of that. So we're really excited to have his voice at our exercises this semester.
Wow, that is outstanding news. Now, you heard it first here on the Bird's Eye View. Our commencement speaker has been named Reverend Charles W. Brooks, our adjunct professor and pastor of Poplar Springs Church. Now, with that being said, we know that students, parents are very much still concerned about our future. We talked about accreditation. However, many are still hopeful that we're going to thrive. What are the plans for summer school and fall semester, and why do you feel that students should return for the fall?
So we plan on having a summer semester. It'll be fully virtual, but it's been fully virtual the last 2 years. We have a fall semester planned. We anticipate that just because of some of the challenges we've been having, we're going to have a drop in enrollment. So we'll be a smaller campus in the fall, but we will still be having in-person classes as we have every fall kind of prior to this. And so while smaller, we're still having a university. We continue to have school, we'll have a campus. In terms of your second question, why should students come to SAU if it's our first time students, or why they should return? I had a student in December, shout out to Mr. King, who asked me this very same question, came to my office. This was right after the accreditation decision in December, and said, you know, what do I do? Do I stay? Do I go? And I said, well, I can't answer that for you. That's a decision for you and your family. And he said, well, you know, my family doesn't really know much about this accreditation thing. So I'm asking you because, you know, you've got expertise here. How do I make this decision? If I were your child, what would you advise me to do? So I thought about it. It's a good question. I said, you know, if St. Augustine's University is a place where you've had the opportunity to have leadership experiences and grow, then you should come back. I said, if St. Augustine's University is a place where you have connected with faculty who have mentored you, who have helped make connections for you, help you to grow professionally, then you should come back. If St. Augustine's University is a place where you've been able to build community, where you have friends, where you feel connected, then it's a place that you should come back to. And if St. Augustine's University has provided an opportunity for you to grow academically, to learn, to be curious about the world and think about what your learning journey looks like in a lifetime perspective, we're building lifelong learners. If that's the experience you've had at this campus, then you come back. If you haven't had those things, then absolutely you want to look for a campus that provides that. But if this campus provides that for you, then you should be here in the spring. And he enrolled in the spring.
Wow.
So the thing that I would say about why students come back in the fall is exactly the same. If we're providing an experience that students have enjoyed and has demonstrated and provided growth for them, has given them a space to be able to spread their wings, then this is the place that they should be, and we look forward to inviting them here for the first time or inviting them back both in the summer and in the fall semester.
Wow, that is outstanding. And with that being said, we've received a surge of support in the Falcon Pride Initiative. We've received several in-kind donations. You mentioned Reverend Brooks and the many churches that have stepped up to provide food service. How has what would be your reaction to the recent uptick in support, and how can members of our surrounding community help us, especially in the area of academic affairs?
Yeah. So St. Augustine's University is known as the Miracle on Oakwood. And again, new kid on the block. One of the things that I've just been curious about is like, what's the miracle, right? Was there something that happened in the institution's past? What's the miracle? And it really was this semester that I was able to answer that question. The miracle is the people, it's the community. It's the fact that the first students on this campus are the ones who came together to quarry the rock, to build the buildings that we now sit in. We have created our own future. We have provided a way out of no way. And that to me is the miracle, right? That is a reflection of the magic of this campus. And so when I think about the communities that have banded together to support us, to provide food for our students, to bring gas cards and gift cards and cash to our faculty and to our students, I think it's a testament to that miracle. I think it's a representation of who we are as a community, and it speaks volumes about why this campus is necessary for this state, for this nation. What we provide is enough to have people invest in us and our students and the work that we do.
Now, as we're wrapping up, Dr. Jennings-Alexander, in the last episode, our students provided some powerful remarks as to why they believe in SAU in spite of all of the challenges that we're facing. And so with all of the issues that we're having, and you've described it earlier, our faculty, our staff, they continue to show up regardless of what's going on. My question for you, and I know we've talked about it before, but why do you believe in SAU? Yeah. And why should you continue fighting for SAU? Why should faculty and staff and alumni that are watching, why should they continue to fight for this institution?
I fight because they fight. Our students are here, they continue to go to class. And because they're going to class, our faculty are here and they continue to teach. Our faculty continue to teach, so our staff continue to provide services for our students. Our staff continue to provide services for our students, so our administration continues to create opportunities so that they're able to do so. It's been a really difficult moment, but the collective spirit to make opportunities possible for our students is the reason why I think we're all here. We're all here to see our students succeed. At the point where the students stop coming, then I guess that's my last day. But if they're here and they're putting in the work and they're fighting and they want to be here, and they, like you said, they talked about it last week, about how this is an important space for them. Trustee Miles Beasley, one of our graduating seniors this year, talked about how he was on internship recently and was a little nervous about the resources that he had on this campus. But then when he got into the work and he realized he was better prepared than institutions with more resources, that's why we're here. And so I think, again, we go back to narratives. There's this story that we're this sort of poor struggling institution with our hands out, and we definitely will accept the donations, but we're also producing something that is really valuable, and that is students who are not just going out getting jobs, but students who are going out to be leaders, students who are going out to be innovators. Our students are changing the world. And I want to be a part of that, and I'm excited about that. And I'm excited to be in a community of people who want to support the students who we're helping to create and put out in the world. It's exciting work.
Wow. Well, Dr. Jennings-Alexander, I really appreciate the time that you have spent today in sharing those powerful words. With that being said, do you have any final words before we end this episode?
I think the only words that I have are just thank you. We have just this wonderful community of supporters, both on and off campus. Without them and their generous spirit, we may not have been here in January, but we're still here. And we're about to see a group of students walk across the stage, and we're going to continue on after that. And I'm just really grateful for all of the people who've helped make that possible. So thank you.
And thank you. And thank you to the viewers. This concludes our episode of The Bird's Eye View. And before we end, we want to encourage you to continue supporting the Falcon Pride Initiative. When you support the Falcon Pride Initiative, you help St. Augustine's University preserve its accreditation and also stabilize its finances. We hope that you continue to watch and tune in for our next episode next week, same time, same location. And until then, thank you, God bless you, and have a good night.
Greetings, faculty, staff, alumni, and dear supporters of St. Augustine's University. I am Dr. Marcus Burgess, proud interim president of our beloved institution. I want to thank you all for your unwavering belief in our mission and tremendous support through the years. I'd like to assure you that the current challenges we are facing are opportunities to forge a new path and usher a new era of exceptionalism. I firmly believe that like the phoenix, or better yet, like a falcon, we will rise. This moment is a time to show the world we are resilient and determined. This institution has produced global leaders for 156 years. The same faith we stood on at our very founding The faith that has carried us through the years and generations is the same faith we will rely on as we move forward and navigate new terrain. I want you to know that we will remain accredited during our appeal process. In the meantime, we will continue meeting with national leaders from accrediting entities to explore what is best for our institution. During this holiday season, as we reflect on the year behind us and look to the promise of the new year, I am reaching out to you as a valued alumni, a friend, a supporter, to support the Falcon Pride Fund. This fund is dedicated to assist the university with its areas of greatest need. Your generosity and commitment can ensure that St. Augustine's University continues to thrive. Your donations will support our ongoing efforts to maintain our accreditation with SAC-COC, provide students with a high-quality education, and uphold the proud legacy of our institution. Every donation, and I mean every donation, to the Falcon Pride Fund, regardless of its size, is a testament to your belief in our university and its future. I stand here with confidence in our collective ability to rise above adversity and firmly believe that we will continue to thrive with your support. Thank you for your unwavering commitment to St. Augustine's University. Together, let us ensure that the spirit of the Falcon continues to soar high. Falcon Pride, and may God bless you all.